What's going on today, Zoe Weave? And today we're going to do nice, quick, and easy what we're talking about today. And this thumbnail will definitely have people raising their eyebrows at me. But I think it's fine because what I'm talking about is how the point of the controversy surrounding this game is completely getting lost because people are talking about the subject matter of the game versus the actual debate that's going on in relation to the existence of this game. Let's get into it. Now, the point being is that I understand what this game is made for and what this game represents because it's stated in this game called No Mercy, your stepmother or whatever character of your choice is leading a bustling you-know-what life, particularly when your father is away. You go away a situation, take matters into your own hands, and decide to leverage it for your own benefit. To be fair, this is a story about a cheating woman whose stepson, however you want to frame it, because you get to make the game, it's your own story, is going around doing something immoral. It's something that no one to defend. So the main character, who is you in this regard, decides to take it upon themselves to leverage the situation to your benefit and whatever carnal desire you have as a person. And the thing about that is this is a fictional game. These are not real people. There's no need to go on a moral grandstanding, which is why a lot of people tend to be pissed off. People who make a big deal out of what is a nothing burger. Now let's look at the messaging of this game. The purpose of this game is that it is for those who want to fulfill darker fantasies and have some semblance of degeneracy, control, etc. And a lot of other people are saying this is a gateway to men in games or men who play this game who really want to just abuse and mistreat women. And to my dismay, I don't see how that is the case because it's the tired old argument that like video games cause violence. People have been debating that since the 1990s, before I even was in high school, middle school, since Combine. I don't think I was 4 when that happened. And we have still been Grand Theft Auto, Bully. The list goes on of games that consistently are used as this weird battlefield to try to censure and control what creators and artists are making. Which, by the way, it is proven that video games are a source of art, which is a freedom of expression, which was what we're supposed to value as Americans. Am I right? And the thing about it that kind of like behows my brain about it is that this is not some wildness that comes out of nowhere. There's hundreds, if not thousands of stories involving this kind of subject material that women actually love to do. Now, there are people who say that you can't use 50 Shades of Grey because there is a consent-based system behind the BDSM along with everything that's going on. That's cool. Let's use other series like Crossfire series by Sylvia Day, the Man trilogy by Jody Els Mollis, and you're going to go even to the darker, the one that is more in line with what is happening in this game. You have the Twist Me series by Anna Zores. You have the Ruthless People series by J.J. McFaul, Den of the Viper, K.A. Knight, and of course, the most BDSM related ones. With this entire premise of this game is about power and control. The original Sinners by Tiffany Reyes, or Club Shadowlands by Therese Sinclair. I hope I said that right. And the thing is, women love all of those books. These are these smut books. That entire industry is propped up by these women and women on Book Talk. We're not going to talk about degeneracy and escape what's going on in Book Talk right now. The biggest issue people are having with this entire controversy is that it is a battle of censorship, slippery slope arguments that one group of people found something offensive, want it banned, and when will it stop? Because another thing is that the themes within these kinds of stories have been told throughout all the time. In fact, as one of my favorite YouTubers, Endymion, mentioned, the entirety of Silent Hill 2 is about one man traversing around the area with the traumas of women being boss fights. That's what that story is. And no one cares about this game over 20 plus years old, and no one knew about this game prior to this whole controversy that happened just a few days ago.
Take Silent Hill, an entire series built upon the concept of abuse and similar themes to this No Mercy game. The most popular entry in the Silent Hill series just got remade too, which is Silent Hill 2. And if you played that, you would know that the entire game is filled to the brim with questionable depictions when it comes to the violence against women. Every enemy type is, to some degree, a manifestation of the main character's desires and urges given twisted form. And then, of course, you have Pyramid Head. That's the iconic monster that is this thing that's created from the main character's trauma and deepest regrets. And look, players and critics love that game, despite it being a 10 or so hour long adventure where you do nothing else but beat weirdly shaped female monsters and, deal with other people's traumas within Silent Hill that are also going through things. Angela, for example, is a young woman who is a victim of assault and abuse herself. And her journey throughout the game as you meet her at various points paints the picture that her family abused her in every way imaginable because she was vulnerable. And she has this one moment where her unique boss fight against what's hunting her the entire game appears, and the implications of what that boss fight means and, looks like, which is pretty much two people on a bed in like a body bag close to one another, insinuating that Angela's father would, abuse her and such. Yeah, it is pretty gruesome. Look, the point I'm trying to make here is that Silent Hill 2 and its many depictions of genuinely eyebrow-raising depictions of really awful things are not really being banned anywhere. You can still buy the game. The entire game, you also fight nothing but women, besides, I guess, a few boss fights where that isn't really the case. But it's mostly you, as James, violently just beating women to death from start to finish with, wood or guns and whatnot. And yet, nobody's banning it, but this No Mercy game is apparently too much, yet women in gaming haven't advocated for Silent Hill 2 to be removed, censored, or anything else. Or how...
Now, for those who understand, I did not buy this game, but I didn't find a way to play it to understand what is the real issues, because I find that you can't go buy anything on the internet. You're going to actually have to look into it yourself, and I didn't pay money for it, so no skin off of my bones. And from the dynamics of the game, you have the option to not be a complete dick. You have the sense of control, and what you can and can't do with other characters involved. Is the whole notion that this is like an incestual game is kind of beguiled, because you don't have to engage in that aspect of the game, because that has to be incest. You would have to prove that they're your mother, or you have to do something along the game where you could involve someone and someone else's mom, which that's part little wild. Did not engage in that part, but I did look up stuff to see what are the story beats to understand what you can and can't do, because I like to go through proper research. The way you can play through this game, there's multiple different endings, and so far what I found was that there's 3 to 4 that can be shifted based on, of course, your actions and, of course, money you make along the way, because your main character is an 18-year-old college student, and then you have your stepmom character who's like in 37, and the point of the game is just like, okay, choose your own adventure, visual novel, yada yada, nothing groundbreaking. And for the fact that people pay $10 for it, this is, probably from support, more so from the strides and effect that this caused. No one was talking about this game. I don't think people realize this game is older than just a couple days ago. You don't know when this game came out? This game came out a whole month ago, March 22nd, 2025. So for the better part of almost a month, no one has even heard of this game prior to all the activist women in gaming groups coming together to try to make a statement and wrestle control over the gaming industry once again. And the way I speak with vitriol for that is because ultimately they create their own problems. They bring attention to these things that no one cared about, because this game's not great. It's a basic gas game for $10, and I didn't have to pay for it. So the idea that people will spend money on this was like, not really. Only like a few people will probably dive into it for the wrong reasons, you could say. But hey, that's their right. It's their money. But now, because it's become a force of the internet, and these groups which always bring out the worst in people, because we keep losing track of what the real problem is. You can't dictate people what they want to do in their own homes, and you can't change the entire community of a group of people that is based around men. Ultimately, gaming industry, and whatever industry you want to be in, has men involved, and men at the forefront. And is that, because of patriarchal society? Sure. Not going to dispute the histrionics about any kind of group of people. But my issue is that there can be a moral argument without kind of causing condemnation on the entire subculture of people. Because if you want to say there's degenerate men out there, no arguments. You want to say there's men who abuse women? No arguments. But my arguments come from, and a lot of people do, is that when you make this argument for the entire group of an industry, saying that male gamers are all toxic, abusive, however you want to phrase it, makes them mad when they're not, and they have to then now go from the idea of innocent to proven guilty to now guilty to proven innocent for something they have never even thought of. And it's just bad experiences dictating people's perception of reality, but it is not reality. And the fact of the matter is, this game would be a nothing burger because it came out again a month ago and no one was talking about it till they brought it up.
Losers.
A super successful studio that continues to deliver game after game after game, just banger, banger, banger. I wish people in the gaming industry would just take a step back and quickly examine the landscape that you have built. Because, Mr. Mark, you built this. Let's quickly touch on the title for tonight's stream, shall we? Gamers didn't start this war, but we're ending it.
I love it.
Back in 2014, gamers were happy. We were playing our video games. Game developers were superstars. We're talking Blizzard at BlizzCon would walk out on stage and you would have 3,000 Blizzard fans screaming their lungs out because Mr. Mike Morhaime is stepping on stage. You would have Chris Mason going, for the
Yeah, there's a raid that you can't go there. You can't burn the cross.
bosses, and now suddenly I'm a misogynistic racist? I don't know what's going on here. And gamers rightfully assume that the developers will just laugh this off. We'll just sort of go, never mind. But suddenly, gamers see Anita Sarkeesian is being invited to all of these conferences where all of these game studios are. Game studios are suddenly very, very aware of toxic masculinity in video games and setting up all these programs to get rid of the toxicity. Zoe Quinn is paraded by the gaming industry as this voice for reason. And funnily enough, the gamers again think, okay, well, the media must have our back. These guys are gamers just like us. Oh, no.
Yeah, these are advocates.
No. Gamers would wake up to find that, oh, shit, the media has turned on us as well, and we're just being raked over the coals as everyone just worships at the throne of our Anita Sarkeesian. And then she finally admits, she doesn't even play video games.
This was so... It's crazy how stupid this was. It really is. Look at this. While these people are deciding between trying to find another job and then doing DoorDash.
She doesn't play video games. She admits, loud, proud, on video. This was never about video games. This was always just about society and social change. But you guys don't walk back and go, oh, shit, we've been had. No. You continue the grift. You continue to go. You continue to attack the gamers. For the last decade, gamers have endured attack after attack after attack from you people. And then, when we finally go, all right, you know what, enough. And we start clapping back. Now, suddenly, before the game launches, you guys are like, fuck you, man. Go get banked. It's not for you, bitch. And then your game fails. And guess what happens? Oh, these stupid misogynistic racist gamers that don't want to play our video game. And we're just over here going, we do what you said.
You told us that you made a game and it wasn't for us, and we believed you. And now you're mad. That's what it is. Absolutely.
Asked you, please don't do this to our game. Right. You said, get banked, bitch. We said, all right, well, why? And you go, well, this isn't for you. Don't play it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. We do what you say. We don't buy it.
Somebody said this started because of the Cabrutus Steam group. It actually started because of the reaction to the Cabrutus Steam group. The Cabrutus Sweet Baby Detected thing would have never even blown up to 5% of what it was if the people in that company didn't try to use every form of official channel to shut him down and to get him banned and removed on everywhere. That's the real reason why it happened, because it turned him into a martyr for just being able to exercise personal choice.
And now suddenly we're the racists for not wanting to play the game that we said we don't want to play, and you said go get banked. We got get banked, and now we're still to blame for this bullshit? Mr. Mark, we didn't start the war. We were happy with our video games. We were happy to hang out in Discord channels and just play games and have fun and nerd out over the most benign bullshit. We were happy to try and come up with that one bullet that could one-shot things. This made us happy. We didn't want to be part of this culture war. You drag us into it every single bloody cycle. Every single time a new game launches.
Yeah, every time there's like a political or social event, video game developers try to always use that opportunity to make comments about these social events or these topics with games. And I think that average people just don't want to hear that. And I think also the big reason too, and I said this before, I said it like 50 times, it's not that there's political messaging at the games, it's that it's unfavorable, weird political messaging that basically nobody agrees with. Like, that's really the problem. There's Metal Gear Solid was all about politics, but it's because everybody is united in thinking, a military-industrial complex is bad. Yeah, exactly. It's refreshing to hear such base. Yeah, exactly. Like, they have the data and they just ignore it. They do. But the people that are ignoring it are having their studios shut down and they're going unemployed. And I think that, again, a lot of people blame me for that. And I want to say in response, you're welcome. I'll keep doing it. If there's one of these games that I feel like is, doing this kind of stuff that I don't like, and I think that it's not representative of what the population really wants, then I will make videos about it and I will communicate that to my audience. And I will never lie to people. I never lie. I never misrepresent things. I show them for what they are. And if you're so afraid and so worried about me showing things for what they are, then maybe you should think about why that is.
Okay, so what? We're going to deal with more DEI stuff. Gamers go, hey, could you please not put the DEI stuff in? Go fuck yourself. All right, we'll just leave then. What happens? The game fails. We say, haha, we told you so. You go, oh, these misogynistic racists. And we're like, dude, come on, man. We said we don't want this. You didn't want to take it out of the game. Now your game is failing and you're being laid off. What do you want us to do? Of course we're celebrating it because you guys are destroying our games.
Yeah, like I don't know about the guy at the beginning, but like I don't think he had any social media presence. But I don't know, like maybe he used to. But a lot of these people that are trying to like kind of sue for empathy, these are people who spent the last 4 years or 5 years or 7 years demonizing their own player base, constantly posting divisive social commentary that is a complete echo chamber of this mindset. Making comments about COVID, telling people that Trump was like Hitler, etc. Like you can't be that kind of person and then expect people not to celebrate when you take an L.
And as far as the rating of the game, I would give it like 6, maybe 5 out of 10. It's not a groundbreaking game by any stretch of the imagination, and for whatever program or budget they used, I mean, I'm sure they already made their money back now because all the revenue they've got from the controversy. And the fact of the matter is, when they went on to Steam to try to defend themselves by claiming it is partially like art and kinks and fetishes are all valid, which is an argument, and I would say it's a logical argument, which is an argument to me I can get behind. But when it comes to video games, for some reason, I find it oddly strange that we can separate books from reality. We can't separate video games from reality. Because I like to, again, reiterate, anything that happened in this game is nothing new. Not even from like what is happening, the subjects, the themes. They already exist in popular media, both in visual and even on TV. So the idea that this is all of a sudden like Clutch Pearl's moment is crazy to me. It kind of reminds me of like the other controversial anime I've talked about for years, Redo of Healer. All that shock value for what? Nothing that's different. Nothing new. You want to talk about how bad deplorable the act was that Kiaru did? Sure. But to act like this is such a, oh my god, how could they? This has been existed for all time. Heck, a couple years before that, there was a whole Goblin set layer fiasco the first episode, and they had to give out a trigger warning and everything. Goblins are scary. It's a fantasy world. And I feel like people will become so immersed in their hobbies, their interests, that they kind of can't separate reality from fiction. And like people will say nowadays, the brain rot, as at an all-time high, it's a video game. You don't have to play it. You don't have to buy it. But if you don't want to play or buy it or talk about it, then just don't. Just live your life. It is fine. You're only hurting yourselves because now you've caused an entire anti-culture war to be like, we're going to support this game just to troll you. And, well, you lose in that regard. Because now more people are going to buy this game, and now you have more opposition. But the biggest problem is that you create more enemies. Because people will be more willing to support you if you were speaking from a place of understanding versus condemnation. And by what I mean by condemnation is condemn the source material, do not condemn the people. Calling gamers of all types toxic, abusive, misogynistic will give you no support when the majority of the community is male. Learn to do better, because you will get no mercy that way. GG's, guys.
Stop what you're doing and listen.